well. Get the difficult one done early doors and trying to fight, brawl in towards A lobby. Boaster the one leading the charge, and he's got 3!
Boaster really getting involved with a lot of the duels on their attack side last time for FNATIC, but immediately setting the tempo, and KC fully crunched.
Yeah, Alfajer on the flag. Both players not looking. SUYGETSU turns and flicks Alpha's head. Also the spike. Just to look for a way towards one of the sites.
A inclined as it stands, but back into 3 players on the FNATIC side and to be under control.
Under Alpha's banner, but Avez get things.
For saadhak on the Cypher, a role which he previously played towards the beginning of his career. And now grouped up with the spike at his side. Pyro starting to work the C long space. Alfajer repositioning in garage as crashies catches info on the other extremity.
Marteen placing his TP to combine himself with the forces that are elsewhere. But Alpha needs to be careful about his positioning.
Thinking about a recommitment towards the mid space, but SUYGETSU is holding on to it. And a real advantage for KC now, a 5 versus 3. 2 players to the good, but still a lot of ground to cover to get towards C, which does remain the negative space. FNATIC starting to move over themselves.
Yeah, this gun round has been FNATIC being proactive, taking things into their own terms, but KC being able to defend that. Time getting low, and KC need to make a move. It's going to be the C site where Boaster is, and there's a couple of players very close by.
I think crashies has spotted this as well, so Boaster teeing up the blind side, gets the first of the kills off the back of the paranoia, and crashies right behind it. 10 seconds. Spike only now going in, and the flank has been detected. Chron on the scene. KC starting to fight towards defender spawn.
Yeah, there's also a dart that crashies can use to set up Chron as well, if he can get into position in time.
From behind this Viper wall, it does feel like a good opportunity to split the post plant that is currently sat on site, but saadhak from the corner, resolute with the rifle in hand now. Chron has work to do to try and reinforced by the Viper wall from Chron. Sad a little more defensive on B, but kaajak done his job. The op in play, finding that first kill, where they went down 3v5 before. Oh my lord, Marteen immediately catches our attention. That quick double on A has forced this quick reaction.
Not ready yet.
Players for FNATIC trying to flood over, but there's plenty of bodies for KC to overwhelm the site if needed.
Trying to get there, but it's a slow creep towards the site. kaajak already arrived with the op in hand.
It's a glass cannon op.
How much value could he possibly get from this position? KC completely stalled out, and with kaajak on the angle.
To C site first, where Alpha is.
The Viper wall is up as well. It's only going to help aid Alfajer make this crossing. Safe passage backside. Marteen to try and open up the play. Has he been left unconsidered? It seems to be the case, but Marteen does crack the whip and collect his 4th.
Marteen is top of the pops. I mean, you think of the last 2 rounds, the value that he's been able to find.
Why not?
Yeah.
And right side. Looks like a quick pace change. Aves right into garage with the run it back.
And also, he's got the fake clone, the Euro clone, to try and fake steps as well.
Okay. So it will be a B execution here for KC, and there is a vacuum that they'll look to fill.
Straight in, but so are FNATIC. Look at the extremities here. Alpha close by. You can see kaajak looking to poke and prod towards that A lobby as well. So while the spike goes down, KC are losing a lot of map control at the same time.
That's maybe where you'd look to get Marteen involved. Has the dimensional drift, but the sewers lockdown from Alpha forces players towards garage. Big fight about to go down with the ult now in play.
Still a trap there for KC to get that extra information if needed, and they're trying to explore elsewhere. KC get one back, make that 2, make that 3, and it's Pyro to do it. Going out of garage, trying to make his way through, but you look at the position of the last 2 players, there's no way that Chronicle in, but no, instead goes elsewhere. Still very stagnant from KC though.
Looking for his time to strike. He can smell blood in the water. Ave's going to go looking punished. And there you have it. FNATIC with an opening. And the wall from kaajak as well. Oh, the supportive utility is superb. Gets out of there no trouble.
Yeah, and now KC left scratching their heads. How do we get numbers back on our side? What do we do to try and make this round in our favour, because with the bodies all in Fnatic's favour, they can start to bundle up now, and you can see that towards the seaside of the map, especially Garage where Chronicle and Kaajak still are.
Not quite getting that information off the cam, but as soon as they go knocking on the door of Garage, it's a reposition from Fnatic, now ready to receive the B execution.
Crashies a little bit more hesitant to move any further forward. He's the weak side of this hold, and Boaster at the same time gets caught out towards the left side of B main. The players making their way towards A get denied by Crashies, but that spike will be going down. Or will it? That's a big Hunter's Fury, and manages to get one. That's Fnatic, 3 to the good.
Marteen with 4 players to get past. He's found his first.
Yeah, you know he's good for it. Still continuing to force the issue.
Placing swarm grenade.
It is though. Towards Garage, and saadhak all on his own with no possibility of being traded gets caught out.
One of the times you do see the 4-1. Now into Garage.
That blaze wall's doing so much. The alarm bot can't see the players walking through. One gets picked up. Boaster though, looking for a quick trade.
Drop down, but SUYGETSU expects it. Knows Boaster's tricks well. KC and Fnatic more than familiar. And this duster, how big did you need to
Have a
dust?
performance step, and straight away as the year progresses, he's back to it.
Crashies the one. Fnatic only finding their first outside of the opening 2 means that KC have been able to turn these situations on their head. But a 5 versus 3 he has found a lot of space towards A. The question is, can he clear out enough space? Can he find Boaster? And you're expecting at this point in the round for Fnatic to start reacting themselves, moving more players, more bodies towards this site.
The timing's insane. Boaster doesn't know, and he's been found by Marteen. That should allow the spike to make its way on towards site. There's a little bit of a gap in timing to allow the spike down easy enough. But where does KC go with a post plan on the front foot?
Still 2 flashes left here for KC. One of them used by Marteen to take that aggressive fight. SUYGETSU notes the flank. They should be looking towards defender spawn now.
Yeah, but the timing, the delay, it's going to not work in Fnatic's favour. They want all 3 players here, and with Alpha so far away, it's going to allow Marteen to play in the smoke. 2 apiece. More utility being sent forward, and that smoke going allows Alpha the next kill. SUYGETSU now needs to clutch up a clean headshot, leaves him in a 1 versus 1 against Alpha. The spike looking to be halved, but SUYGETSU looking to try and find the next fight, but it goes Alpha's way.
So a slip through the fingers of Alpha is brilliant work from Marteen to kick this round off, and these are the moments that you're putting under scrutiny. If he can...
Going to get the dimensional drift on towards B, where Boaster sits above. He's been identified and picked up. Unfortunate Hunter's Fury in towards C-Link. It isn't quite connecting.
Or will land one of those pulses at the very least. Kaajak and Crashies clamping on down. Spike still not yet planted in the pit to recover.
Finally it will be. And yeah, as you said, Viper's Pit deposited straight away, and one back towards Fnatic.
Plant in though. KC will just be looking for spam. Crashies can alleviate all of his pressure.
He can and does. Big pick. Now the player's distracted in B, and Crashies knows about SUYGETSU trying to flank him. He's doing this all by himself and calling for players to get on the spike, but Avez is denying it.
No half.
It's not, but finally it will be. And now the player's looking at Fnatic to fight.
Arrive at the stage in those kinds of situations. Such calmness. But this half is yet not completed, and Chronicle's already found the first of those kills. Kaajak fighting from sight. KC trying to retake this space, and Ave's doing a brilliant job, but the backline has been compromised.
It has, and there's Alpha with a rifle here. The player's now trying to search towards CT. Ave's being the sole player to do so. So not really finding much.
Take this the full 9 yards. Avez gets caught. And now it is on saadhak. The captain to clutch it. Has a path to walk towards A, but locks eyes with Boaster. There is no way back for him now. Alfajer closing the net. saadhak boxed in, running for his life, but
Challenge, trying to fight through Chronicle's Viper wall, and Fnatic actually found themselves, but Alpha, late to the party, wins that first fight.
Big duel for him to win, but Marteen's still hanging around.
He wants that trade and gets it. Backs away. But look at FNATIC, already so far up A long.
It's a long rotation here for KC.
Yeah, and Pyro found the players squirming out, manages to escape, can't quite get the pick, but Marteen still holds on towards shot, and kaajak has set his sights on finding him, and does. That should allow the spike to go down. FNATIC looking for extra information on the last two.
The King of Pistol won't be outdone here. And with numbers on FNATIC's side, they've set up post, but still thinking about a potential flank with how long Marteen was able to hold it down in sewers.
Yeah, there's absolutely no utility really that KC can use. Perhaps waiting for SUYGETSU's smoke to chain their way out.
Looking for the contact on kaajak here.
Yeah, and well, Cron playing off him as well, trying to clear the corners and does so. This gets worrying because now at least crashies against SUYGETSU, but time getting low, and that's all crashies needs to play with. Just deny SUYGETSU the opportunity they saw on the last round. So you look at the setup, and KC are leaning so heavy towards C.
saadhak will have notification of this push in with his trap, but Marteen fakes the TP. He's committed to long.
Yeah, he's tried to commit to the fight, and it's FNATIC that's won every single one. A site opened. Spike can go down, and even enough time for crashies to pick up an extra orb. There was a lot more question marks than...
Just looking at it here, someone else towards the KC stronghold on A. The blue wall built yet again, but cannot crumble if the road to Paris is to be a success. Trailing now in this game, crashies opens things up from graffiti. Avez getting sprayed with bullets, but it's Pyro at the double again. Their savior stepping up. Boaster low has to respect the wall. There's no time for the plant to come in. KC have stood their ground. We're thin here for FNATIC. It's only Marteen on A.
It is only there. kaajak as well is the only attacking player. Might have heard that TP. Still, 20 seconds left. FNATIC need to make a move and try and get this spike down.
Yeah, full fake. They're heading towards B now. We've reached the 15-second mark. Still not yet made any progress onto the neck of the site itself. Marteen with the first of the kills, and you're expecting more from KC. You're gonna get it. Marteen on for a hat trick, and he'll manage to pick up all three of them. The spike has gone down in the meantime, but there's middle.
Trap towards B as they try to fight out Garage to get the value from it, but crashies needs to escape, too low to have another fight.
1-for-1 on kaajak. With how Marteen's been performing so far, I don't know if that's the trade you perhaps want to take, and with A now looking like it might need to be recovered from KC. It's the missing ultimate as well, which poses to be a further issue. Ave's still flanking though.
Yeah, but the space that FNATIC have found at the same time, as crashies looks to stand up to the flank, it doesn't work out, and now the front two players, or at least the front one of Boaster, tries to find something back, and it doesn't work.
See, coming out of there so far in this map.
How long does that TP last for?
So we're here to find out. Marteen has been gutted. Crashies to collect him. FNATIC backpedaling. This paranoia to reinforce the space, still not committed.
30 seconds left.
But time getting low, and you know FNATIC need to commit to the C site.
Find lines of defensive cover, dark cover. SUYGETSU in the corner, still yet to be cleared. Time ticking down. Boaster has the ult, repositions A, clean from Chronicle to remove Pyro. And side of the map. But it was his own teammate Smoke, which has actually forced him to double back. Lockdown confirming that FNATIC have ambitions in the middle of the map as it stands. But KC are ready to respond to this. Avez still with the run it back into this retake potential.
I don't know if that can got destroyed there in the end, and it seems if the ultimates are going to come through, I'll run it back in an overdrive, but Spike denied.
Volley kill. Ave's looking for more, denied it, but it's on the opposite side. FNATIC have to retrieve it with no time again.
Yeah, in no man's land, need to brawl their way through the site, and it's not going to work. It's a choke point that KC are using, turning this into a meat grinder, and it's mostly FNATIC's bodies that have gone through it. Having to save, having to call it right here. And it's going to be KC reaching 11 within touching distance.
Immediate to take up the C space.
Yeah, but is this what KC want? Is this the plan for the round? saadhak maybe stepping a bit too far. Allows to get the entry. An indirect trade on towards crashies and an extra ping onto Alpha.
Pyro has been very good with his Sova ult so far. A flexible player stepping into the lineup and part of this flood now backside.
Oh, kaajak at the back of sight, looking to hold it himself, but can't quite do it. This is turning into a death match of a round.
The spike is heading elsewhere. FNATIC want nothing more to do with C as it stands. Cron has the pit, a molly. Boaster a paranoia. There is a stockpile of utility. These last few final pieces that could stave off KC. The Pyro has the drone, and that is the natural counter to clearing this space. It needs big value.
And it does. Boaster's not there to destroy it, it's just Cron, which means that he takes a step out of the pit. Boaster watching for the heaven drop, but there's a time in there for KC to work with.
Still not managing to get into the pit right now, walking around the side, dropping from the heavens instead, and Pyro is heaven sent. A triple kill on the round from KC's new player!
Chronicle.
But you don't get lucky without putting yourself in the right position. As he traces Pyro, he played FNATIC up until this point, and the support is a little late to arrive. Has to win the first fight and does.
He does, and there's more utility to come through, but that neural theft is massive for information.
Second reveal, hat off his head. saadhak letting it rip. Now KC in a position where they do feel yet again inclined to take 12 rounds. The setback only temporary. But FNATIC with the players to still create problems. You have to be thinking about Alpha here.
He's the big one, the one to unlock the site. saadhak. Oh, and Pyro in the corner allows FNATIC into the site potentially.
And now we need another big Marteen moment.
30 seconds
30-second
left.
mark now crossed. Spike still committed. And all three players on the KC side here.
As graffiti needs to be cleaned, that's where a double stack of KC deposits are.
For the execution as it comes in, Marteen has his. Back to garage we go, it's the drone that Marteen wants to try and play in front. With no TP, he's committed still to this corner.
It's a big one to win, and manages to protect the spike as well. Look at KC at the same time, they lose that pick in mid, and then start to look elsewhere towards the extremities, towards C long, through a sewer. But FNATIC, they go elsewhere. They start to make that spike towards B.
Problem with FNATIC's recent B post plants is they haven't had a second leg to stand on. It's been very one-dimensional in terms of the setup, but this time they do create a little bit of breathing room for themselves. Boaster towards backside, but it's the back line that you've got to be looking at, and saadhak has already given numbers.
Avez up against Alpha, yeah, and it's Alpha to win it out. saadhak looking for something to go his way. The buy's still in favour of KC, even though FNATIC have a player advantage. But the set piece to set up kaajak and deny KC the round is there.
This call to send kaajak through Link was brilliant. Alpha holding it down as usual, but just waiting for the contact before making the play. Ooh, Cron cutting off one of the avenues of approach though for FNATIC, and without strong sewer control, it's the lockdown long instead. Can't fully push KC off site.
But Marteen has went searching and found a whole load of danger. And on top of that, Hunter's Fury to deny anybody getting into sight. And Boaster at the same time cuts off the rotates. It's looking worse and worse for KC.
One player less to consider though on the site as Boaster is removed. crashies the same in main. Effective 3-on-3 if they challenge it, but KC slow on the update.
Yeah, that they are, but there's delay to come through. Oh, Pyro at the same time finds Alpha here. From where? A brilliant spam, but crashies at the same time finds that Sova. Time ticking away, and KC need to get a move on.
Set it up instantaneously. kaajak on the line. saadhak has to cross.
Lie in wait.
Inserting himself in the corner. Molly at the feet of Ave's decision to be made. He sits around for long enough to collect it, but there's no second swing. Oh, it finally comes in delayed from Boaster. Schoolboy, it would seem, shut down, and now numbers KC.
They know exactly what they need to do to hit in towards this site, but Alpha is looking
30
for something.
seconds left.
Looking for information, maybe even a pick to get back in towards FNATIC's favour as they are a player down.
It In the meantime, having kaajak on the other side of the map, collecting all of that information, it has enabled the stack, and still Alpha goes down. No synergy between the remaining members. Has to be the crashies show. Needs to see his name in lights, but put out in the dark by marteen.
4 against 1. A kaajak clutch, a glass cannon up, and a run it back heading his way.
Make it a 5th, but he's found the first of them. Wallbang is ambitious to convert. Must just reiterate, it is their map pick. Corrode laying in wait ahead of us. To put further measures in place, there is a timeout coming through on the KC side.
Through mid themselves, a timing, and Alfajer up close against Avez, and he tries to take him out and will do so. A big one to find, but KC still find Boaster.
saadhak has a decision to make. Does he want to play on site or drop off? Looks like he's going to stick it as long as possible, and the trap's done its job. Alpha closing the distance. Quick trade.
There it is, and garage control important because there is no smokes and there is no players left on seat. Alpha caught out trying to escape. He brings us back to a 2-on-2.
Pyro with marteen. So many big clutches between the two of them, and now they're 2-on-2. Chron and crashies.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much initiation to try and get out of garage, but that utility could be the run. Oh! But instead it's marteen, and he'll win out. Map 1 for KC.
We've been waiting to see marteen make
priority, like we've seen with other teams, and they do so right here as marteen forced back on B site as FNATIC look to be aggressive on B, sorry, and it doesn't work out.
marteen's going to get cleared here though, so it is a 4v4, and KC simply have to respect the poison orb in play from Chron for the time being.
Spam trying to come through from the Sheriff's. Boaster though manages to escape with his life and get that spike down, but crashies pushing towards CT. He also has the support of Alpha's Vise.
That's been detected, and Alpha up in heaven does get taken out by Pyro.
And that it does. Crashies though still holding on towards CT, the lone player here, and he's finally routed out. Boaster pushing this orb, and it doesn't work out in his favor.
Very weird smokes placed there by marteen. I think he initially wanted the one-way, but the rapid succession of FNATIC players stopped him and caught on the other side of this Omen smoke. So the one we saw Sociable using, but it's marteen with a...
Still continuing on. FNATIC through B main. Shoeless delay coming through, but that flash is absolutely perfect. And kaajak can't go any further. FNATIC are having real problems with trying to get out of these mains.
Oh, and SUYGETSU there even finding the next kill. This could very well end flawlessly. Boaster has work to do. It's not even a deep vice wall. Check for any proactivity, but KC are taking this ahead of the curve. Alfajer is... And sort of even there, the direction looks a bit concerning in terms of the setup, and now FNATIC starting to reinvestigate these mains. Spread themselves a little thin.
And just not winning any fight whatsoever. The re-engage, the utility, they're being pushed back at every point, but there is an opening. And that opening is the B site. marteen notes the players coming out of there, and that is where the spike is, and crashies all alone will get taken out. So a 2 versus 5 to try and clutch from for FNATIC.
Plenty of ground still to be covered, but FNATIC have both controllers up. They can put a wall of smoke in front of KC, but ultimately need some kind of tangible advantage, and that's where they begin to hunt through elbow.
Scanning ahead.
Still taking the time to come back in. Don't want to get taken off guard by the last 2 players, but they will do. And that's the main part of the forces. There's even a molly to take anyone off the spike. Cosmic Divide put in, but it's
most inclined to take.
Nightfall through mid to try and force players back from fighting, and it's going to be an ace split, as that's where the spike is heading through. It is on crashes as well too, no, but KC aware of this, and they'll get the first player coming out of lane.
Yeah, the vines were broken as well though, and KC have consolidated their position with the Brimol.
Well, More delay, 20 seconds left. Spike needs to go down. FNATIC need to unlock this site, but they are locked out without a key.
Ooh.
But unless crashies is able to buy this round, the other two players for Karmine Corp are nowhere near the A site.
crashies to see if he could do. His teammates couldn't. It would be back-to-back clutches for FNATIC. He's had time to set this up. No info yet on the two retaking defenders though from KC.
Crashies distracted by CT. Oh, switches up. That paranoia is huge. It's hit Crashies spot on. No lines of sight. Struggle with that attack. Well, in general, right across all the map pool, especially with the new map.
KC looking to get proactive here.
They are. Martin's down to Alpha here, so back to a 4-on-4. And this round gets so weird because KC are trying to brawl their way through, and FNATIC are trying to brute force their way into sight.
They don't want to go A. They want to follow up on Chronicle. He's lurked all the way through B, now getting a chance to fight SUYGETSU. Oh, the gun barrel!
No
Has
way!
completely done a disservice. And so that is the route to B now open.
Well, KC, they need to try and re-clear through CT, and Cron is ready for the next fight.
Take it on the chin. Lick of damage, trying to run, but the sight line opens up. With Avez finding that,
30 seconds left.
his numbers back
Planted.
to KC's favor.
Crashies next up.
Clearing utility to try and find him here as Crashies forward position has found two heads. The dome piece removed and now it's on to Boaster. Crashies has done his best. Can Boaster stand up and complete the task?
Yeah, but how long are these problems going to last? Let's be honest here. This defence has got a bankroll to back itself. Don't want anything to do with it. KC know that the last time there was an A split, don't want to allow that opportunity to the orange and black, and well, they'll decide to start to look towards the mains. Marteen using the Viper's Orb against FNATIC and found a pocket in which to work with, and it works out in his favour. A double kill. One more player to find to make sure that this A main's his, but it's kaajak through length that wins out and opens up the A site.
Smartly played from Marteen. He's done his job of slowing down the push into the retake. SUYGETSU has a timing and wins it. That's huge. KC into another retake with numbers.
And the Hunter's Fury hasn't hit. It's only delayed the spike a little bit.
Spike planted.
Pick up. Very slow from the French side.
Facing up on two players. We've seen so many spray downs so far this map.
We have, but won't get the opportunity this time. Still waiting to play in SUYGETSU, and he's really taking his time. And kaajak knows, because of the information that Boaster gave him earlier, the paranoia not hitting, but the spike no longer in FNATIC's control. The Karmine Corp players are on top of it, but time is getting low, and you know the players need to start to get to work to get this one done. Crashies, knows that the spike's being worked on.
To handle this.
Ultimate. There's a TP towards the top of mid, and kaajak's taking that. SUYGETSU trying to hold on with the classic, and a flash stops kaajak getting any more. Marteen in that corner that we've seen him work from before.
The spike has been completely stopped because of this mid-duel.
And 40 seconds left for FNATIC to try and fight their way out of it. Is this going to pivot to an A play?
It almost has to. You can see the movement, but still, because the spike's in mid, they have to get past Pyro. He's the last line of defense for KC.
And FNATIC once again find themselves in a difficult position. But the patience is what always does them so well. On towards Pyro they go, and he's holding on. Alpha, spike down, and now Chronicle. He's only got a stinger, for God's sake. He's got no chance in hell of winning this round.
So times for KC perhaps to get their fans excited.
To try and pivot to split through mid. And look at how far they're going.
Let's be careful not to get caught here, and he does. kaajak the next to follow it up. Spike still in the hands of Crashies, still entertaining the possibility of this duel. The B site is free, they don't know that yet. Cron's still working his way through.
Oh! Big Alpha! Yeah, this is going to be a big round to win out. Alpha, absolutely fantastic. Kajak's done so well there. Double entry. This is fights that they've not been winning. So that B site opens up, but the spike's still so far away.
So is SUYGETSU though, and without his ult, it's going to take a little bit more time for KC to get into position. FNATIC have plotted course. There's a Nightfall in here, and Cron tagged in his pit. Oh, all the way down to 17.
Still managing to keep himself alive, and now it's protect the President to keep that pit up. Deny KC a way back in. And that orbital strike being offline is going to prove a big problem, a component that KC wishes that they had.
Prowler spots the first player. They know the aggression of kaajak, paranoia to take him off the line, but FNATIC still fighting this.
Yeah, but every single time FNATIC find themselves in a crossfire towards CT, and it's crashes up on Heaven with kaajak holding on from down low, trying to make their approach through the pit is not to be advised, but kaajak and his utility gets caught. Time now starting to get low, and this round going into the realms of FNATIC, into the realms of it being an 8-4 half, which is exactly what is needed if there's going to be any semblance.
He's nowhere near this, so it's all eyes on the B side.
Yeah, Alfajer respecting the push coming through, but not respecting saadhak as he finds the entry pit.
Who's the one furthest forwards? Yeah. The rest of KC now flooding, getting themselves on site, but looking for a way out, an option.
Oh.
Set up this post plant.
I thought for a minute the spike was heading here as well, but instead, no, it's just marteen and SUYGETSU. But listen, there's a contest on the Prince of Pistols. It seems to be Alfajer, and he'll win FNATIC it.
Why wouldn't you?
Confidence within the ranks, but kaajak not found through the dark. Avez taken out early doors, so
he's immediately here on the B site as well, so you've got that second player over. In fact, he's the sole custodian of the space.
KC looking to send out, force their way through. Not going to happen. Still delay to be had. And oh, a player identified. In fact, a fair few through that horn that they're going back.
Right here.
Crashies on the line is going to take the next off those players. KC walking into trouble. Not much health left on the remaining forces that are now trying to recuperate towards B, and kaajak will drop. Still so much work to be done.
Double stack to try and get out of. Nah, no chance. KC, this bonus round is...
And the one thing that I pick up on in that round is sort of the absence as well of having a Viper, something to really lurk into these sites and feign. He has the Prowlers to bring kaajak off the line. Alpha spamming until the bullets have run out. Marteen catches kaajak.
No, they go towards A. FNATIC respond to the pressure of just a single knife and smoke. And when it's bringing them closer towards this A side where the spike's going.
Exactly, and when I say stack, I meant utility, but there's no players to play off it now. FNATIC gutting the mid portion just to make sure that they're in the best possible position for a retake as they sit a man down. That's the equalizer. Pyrol taken off his feet. crashies has his number. Boaster now by his side with the flank closing in. KC will begin to search for that advantage again.
Yeah, but SUYGETSU's all alone in main, and he's trying to run Scarpa towards the site, but he's playing dangerously.
Still dwindling around, but here is Cron. The onus put on him here. Quick trade. Headshot maybe over-delivering in that situation because it's kept it at 3-on-3. Elevated position SUYGETSU. No more to be done from him in the round. And we're still at an even man count as it continues to draw forwards. Double stack of players for KC. Walking in with the Odin. Alpha. Tougher to crack if you're KC. They've done a great job at removing key pieces from FNATIC's defense before. Oh, what?
What is sound through being just Astra, right? And the fact that we're also going to get the ultimate come through, the Steel Guard, and this is a real problem for KC. The firepower not there to support the push.
Preemptive play made, and with 15 seconds, KC have to scale into the A site. The orbital strike to cut off most of the ground, but it's space that they can't themselves flood into. Spike needs to hit the deck, still not committed. Finally, it's a last gasp opportunity, which crashies cannot deny. The kill's still in place for FNATIC, but KC have numbers.
That they do. Only one player better, and still Cron to come through, but he's flanking.
Alpha and elbow. Completely unchecked here, vigilant round the corner, collecting the first, quick trade. saadhak has his number, as do KC. He will set up the contact, the captain. It's Avez to swing, but it has to be through the molly. Discipline is KC's, and it's a pacey take they'll be looking for.
Yeah, and it's backed by the null command, right? Everything offline. But the vise of Alfajer is on the other side of the map, so that's at least influencing the round. The players trying to break out of this link position, but the body's there, the Odin not hitting, crashies missing out, but Boaster up close with the stinger, and players have been softened up, which kaajak will manipulate to his advantage. Spike on the floor,
2v1.
And kaajak chasing him down. He needs to be careful.
He has the spike and a full util belt.
Yeah, but 9 bullets in the chamber. Whoa. That might be all he needs. And that's exactly it.
FNATIC able to spin things back to their own success. It started well. saadhak baiting in there.
Look at crashies.
Walking out, kaajak, first blood on the round, shut down quickly, SUYGETSU on the swivel, Viper wall up, Chronicle with his hands in his pockets, 2 players peeking, still gets out beyond the half wall, and crashies taking down marteen. It's a massacre in middle, yet again. FNATIC starting to now move. High roll here, not playing with the util, saadhak holding, and has kaajak dead to right.
Flashing.
On the angle. Alfajer just reclearing A in the meantime, using his flash and taking down saadhak. 4 versus 3, KC have numbers, but it's that scaling I was talking about. A lot of ground to be covered through the A courtyard.
Yeah, and a lot of vice utility to try and get through as well.
Also Cron's orb, a little more time bought.
And Alfajer has support. It's Boaster, and Alfajer straight away knocks the next head, hitting his crosshair.
Face your fear.
Spike on the ground, Nightfall invested. KC need to try and make their way towards A. They encircle it. Still, an orbital strike to clear out the site. Alfajer just managing to escape, or so I thought. No, instead, they've opened it up clearly, and Cron has to try and make his way back through.
Multiple clutches for the man already. Could the most decorated player in VCT add another clutch to his Chronicle? The same fate, but no capitalization. Still here playing from the corner, on the wall. Avez finally takes him down. And KC back in the 4-on-4.
The spike collected, a direction which KC have picked now, or being picked up has been heard. No command used, and FNATIC respecting this. There's a little bit of spam coming through from crashies Odin, but it hasn't really netted anything in terms of a kill. But Boaster maybe shown a bit too much, gives a pick to KC.
Still players low on the KC side though, one of them, marteen, melted through the wall. The hopes and dreams of this team might be slipping through their fingers. saadhak's trying to get off site. Full setup from elbow in post, but where is the spike planted in all of this? Is there safety? A sanctuary perhaps for KC, something to sit on. Could they take it to OT? Or a FNATIC gonna hold the line all the way through? Crashies seems to think. Boaster bold from the corner, util sent out. Still saadhak trying to hold the line, but Boaster bests him captain on captain. kaajak the next, FNATIC 1 by 1, making this attack work. And KC have been foiled, their plans deleted. Alpha, one more. And now marteen has it all on his plate.
Against 4 as well. Cron in the corner, 2 players to try and swing off of him. This is everything that FNATIC want.
As soon as that reload is hit, Chronicle smells the blood in the water. Eyes bigger than his stomach, perhaps. marteen will get away with another, but this attack round and how pivotal it could be for FNATIC is everything. As KC will have to go back and win another one of their own. There's simply not enough time on the clock. Let's see. Asked for the mid-duel, and he's set up Cron here to receive it. Fight in main, double reveal. Avez looking to profit off it, but Cron at the double. He's held up his end of the bargain again.
And so is the rest of FNATIC. That spike looking very lonely working through mid, and it's SUYGETSU. If he goes a step too far, gets caught out, this round is totally unwinnable.
It might be, it's already feeling the case. But 2 players who know how to win a clutch. SUYGETSU saying after the Liquid game he hasn't felt this sense of calmness in years coming into a match, even with so much left on the line. still think it possible. A 2 versus 2 towards A or B, whichever way they go, but they have to play together.
But they're not. That's the problem. SUYGETSU's trying to take a timing.
Chronicle has the jump up here, and as SUYGETSU walks in, it's the spike felled. FNATIC moving ever closer. Pyro to pull them out of a bad position. And Chronicle yet to be cleared. 20 seconds or less, or we're going all the way to bind. Pyro walking in. He's not going to find. Monitoring showers. As FNATIC start to drop some footfall behind this Viper wall. But no sign of commitment just yet, not until Alpha brings the drone out.
Sound sensor up.
saadhak ready. Gravnet in hand. And a player close by to support him, that would be SUYGETSU, but the delay still coming through. No capitalization in kills, but saadhak at least gets the trade. Elsewhere, crashies is working on B.
Going to be a heads up with this wall too, so crashies has to wait for the rest of the team, and even then a bait not exactly going to help their efforts out. 2 players splitting, but 2 players stacked, and they have to force out a hookah hit.
Yeah, that they do, and there's also Avez holding from CT. Boaster finds Pyro, and marteen now under fire. Everybody on B is gone, and saadhak has a long road to walk to the site that FNATIC are planting on.
Another FNATIC pistol round queued up, and with it being on the attack side as well. KC setting up for their defenses yet again. I fear that some of the same problems with Corrode may rear their ugly head. The only team in the league not to be running a Viper on bind, KC. And the stopping power seemingly not enough here already.
You can see Alpha getting ready for the flank. The FNATIC players delaying. Only 2 players here. Only 1 Thorns on the ground. It's not looking so strong that you would expect. The arc bow is just placed, and when it's used, it actually gets marteen. None of the FNATIC players. It works out in the attack's favour. KC in a bad spot, but so FNATIC in terms of time. They're patient as ever, and we'll get that spike down. 2 players remain on the defence side, and FNATIC have an advantage, but that extra player only has a pistol.
Keeps things interesting. Lurk of Chronicle has been cut out, but Alpha's looking to interrupt this with his timing through lamps, so SUYGETSU has a lot of space to clear.
Yeah, so, I mean, full sight, right? Where the players are sitting. They went in towards showers, but that's where Boaster was, didn't find him. It gets worse and worse, because as the time ticks away, the value of utility should be better. Alpha activates and takes out saadhak. This is going to have to be the surrender in the site. It's going to be FNATIC to win the bonus round. crashies to catch SUYGETSU trying to...
Double fake TP from marteen. crashies closing in.
FNATIC scaling up. There's players behind us. A little bit scary.
And SUYGETSU has survived through the salvos.
Yeah, that he has, and he's went even further forward. FNATIC, well, it's still Cron alive and well, but it's only him. Remember that Viper's pit that we spoke about? It is still there and available. Thinking about it.
First player spotted and expects a second to be close by. TP's away with this knowledge in mind. Pit still available, of course. A molly to slow down any retake attempts. You feel like he might just want to go with the ult even.
Think about it, but I think he wants just one more. He gets the opportunity. Plenty heavier on the A side.
Oh, SUYGETSU with a big opening pick. Exploring this extremity now. Alpha 1 knows about the second.
Does he know about the third?
Another exposed area on the map. FNATIC knowing that they can contact into a lot of space against the deadlock. Finally the vice wall hit, and that the info. The call to arms for marteen, who's the only real player in a position to actually challenge here. Spike plant coming in, and Cron still lurking.
Spike planted.
Still trying to keep KC interested on that A side of the map, but TP's back in. A cosmic divide has allowed Pyro an opportunity to find Alpha here. 3 players left on FNATIC, and where do they go? I mean, to invest the Viper's pit, give themselves some semblance of a foundation in which to work. Boaster supporting Cron here. The players of KC are starting to encircle, starting to collapse on down, and crashies down.
Oh!
First two players caught.
Hang on.
Marteen low as well. SUYGETSU on the spike. It's just a 1 versus 1 essentially, but idea of how this round looks, and it's a straight execute into B.
It is net placed right in the forefront still. FNATIC not quite out. saadhak still holding it down. First of the kills picked up, and Boaster, recall of the smoke to wade his way out into the corner, and bests the captain on the opposite side. SUYGETSU still doing his job, and KC backfilling this space with bodies. Pyro peeking out. A confident move to make, but one which has established that end up facing, right? You've got GX waiting in the next. Sign of the times of some change on the horizon. An aggressive move made themselves. Double combo on the flashes is fantastic. And Marteen teed up to take the first of the round.
Oh, and kaajak at the same time catches saadhak trying to retreat. There's an opportunity to get the spike towards the B site, but it's so far away. KC have a chance to deny it.
Yeah, Marteen caught inspecting his own footwear, but forfeits the space in the end. It's a very deep thrash from a low HP Avez, not wanting to get caught and making sure he makes the full clear, but FNATIC fighting through elbow. Left alone in this endeavor.
The only problem is look at Hooker right now. SUYGETSU still lying in wait.
Oh, but kaajak on the line, and Avez still falling back. Sweat beads on his forehead, knowing that he's the last line of defense between the A site and FNATIC. Continuing to push the issue on B as Marteen has made his way back inside the tube.
He has no TPs to get out either. He has to fight.
Fully committed to this position as FNATIC feel the same.
Left.
Backing up towards Garden, maybe reconsidering their options at this point in time, but even then, Avez now sat towards short means that he could be the late play that stops the A push if it does make its way through. It is B though, there isn't enough time. Marteen inside the smoke, the first of the kills, needs more though, and finds himself removed. SUYGETSU looking for the gravity well to stop the plant, but it just about goes in. crashies edge of the area.
And both KC players now together. There's no Dizzy, there is a wingman to clear close corners, but both players make their approach.
One of them dropping in from Hooker. SUYGETSU without a star to use. Silent drop attempted. kaajak not yet hearing if it's all about timing. Peeks round, can't find the kill. SUYGETSU punishes it, and it's all on crashies. Finding form, finding his first. Wingman on the...
I think the most interesting thing out of all this, right, was we were expecting an improvement from KC, and it still continues. That was the spike down. Garden, if Pyro's able to be alive in the Cosmic Divide. This is not over even if FNATIC can get to post.
Ooh. Pyro has the wolf along, and he's ready for this TP if it comes in. Early Steel Garden, fine, plenty more time.
Yeah, think how long those primaries are going to be offline for.
Face your fear.
Nightfall to come in Pyro's way. This to set KC up for a 7th. All focus on him as it stands, but SUYGETSU's arrived to the scene. The knight in shining armor sprays down his first, but there is more to find. Chronicle supported by crashies other side of the wall. saadhak arriving with an ult of his own. Corners to be cleared, it's not quite gonna hit, and crashies stepping out into the open. Saving face for FNATIC. SUYGETSU in another clutch. Chron on the other side.
A-side. kaajak needs to be careful.
They see re-clearing. Oh, an Alpha on a very wide angle gets caught on the full clear by Marteen. Mesh broken kaajak. FNATIC still plotting course across the map.
Big information through that arc rose. Got to remember, KC only knew that Alfajer was towards this side of the map.
He's going to flash himself for the peak. It's not the op, it's the shorty this time. 5 versus 3 situation. KC in prime position to get a 7th, to keep their advantage for the second half. But it's the B site execution again
30 seconds left.
that we look towards.
If they can get these two players clean, FNATIC could find themselves in a 3 versus 3 post plan. Big if though.
Even bigger exchange about to happen. Boaster first through the window. SUYGETSU able to claim it into the map. Boaster the one with a lot on his plate right now. And Marteen, the face of opposition, has managed to find the opener.
Kaajak looking to find something else, break off the weaker arm of the push, but they haven't found SUYGETSU.
Oh.
The stun will get him though. Put the advantage towards FNATIC as Chronicle looks to post it home. Unless marteen can come up with a clutch.
It's a must for marteen now. Has one TP, finds his first. Fade away, marteen! And the spike planted on the other side of the box.
Big teleport.
Yeah, up against crashies, but he's taking so much damage. Starting to head towards the A site. marteen using the dimensional drift to clear out.
Still don't have full backside control though. FNATIC with a monopoly on this. And Kaajak continuing to use his lurk, has dropped the fake out to potentially trigger the flank watch from the wall as well. KC still setting up, still no spike plant.
Yeah, and this is going to be a problem because FNATIC are now waiting for Kaajak to get into position, and finally he does so, getting SUYGETSU spike down, and the bodies of FNATIC ready to brawl, ready to fight, ready to send this one home! And make all the utility being sent, but Alpha, he has his line of sight back just at the perfect time.
Most are playing anti-flash, waiting for Alpha to take contact.
And it
Car fight, spray!
And it goes their way.
Spike
The
down,
spike
B.
though through the TP.
Pocket. For the rest of this year.
Oh! And it's a collat to wipe them out. Kaajak with the escape. And he knows that another player could be close in towards Hookah. In fact, it's 3. Alfajer to support,
30 seconds
and not a
left.
lot of time left.
It's a thankless task, jumping out from Hookah into the open arms of Kaajak again.
But the utility, it's not even going to buy them enough space as Boaster finds Pyro, Alpha finds marteen, and FNATIC find 11. They've got everything that they need.
10 seconds
SUYGETSU's
left.
trying to even just get away with a rifle. That's what their win is in the round. FNATIC are trying everything they can to not allow that, but it will be that gap of 4 as it grows bigger and bigger. It would only really be one player that they would find. Kajak's operator is going to find Kaajak as well. Is going to find marteen. I don't think it's even necessary to invest ultimates, which allows FNATIC in the next round to have 3, potentially 4, depending on how many orbs Cron can collect.
saadhak should have been the next to find his name written on a tombstone. marteen, the one exclusion from this round as it stands. Those conversations of consistency to be brought back up again because FNATIC ever consistent on their defensive holds. The spike has managed to break into the site through the hands of SUYGETSU. He must deal them some kind of support here, but backed all the way out. Let's have some space to play with, but the wall forces him to fight in front.
Oh, and he's stunned as well. That should be it. This Boaster is the man.
Do have some ults to throw at this, but it's the last left to give this half a chance. FNATIC in position. They have the shower control again. KC need an outlet, need something in their last opportunity. Cron again, giving them nightmares consistently, plaguing them from getting to Paris, but KC Chronicle within the fumes.
I'll handle it. Time to jump.
But
Doesn't last for long.
it does not.
30 seconds left.
And FNATIC will start to have an idea, and a quick
Oh.
TP through
That's it.
allows KC to enter in towards this round with 2 big picks.
20
They're going
seconds.
elsewhere, and 20 seconds remaining. Kaajak lies in wait, his operator to hit, and the spike down. Oh no, it's all falling apart. Wingman denied, and time getting so low that KC need to somehow find a way to win out, but no!
No plan!
There's no way!
Denied!
Not like